Hey, so it's been a while, and by a while I mean like 5 months. Um, yeah, I can't really explain it to be honest. I was just hit with massive art block after I posted the last video, and then after that, I just didn't draw for a while. And once I did start drawing again, I was kind of focused on drawing art for others, would it be like commissions and stuff. So, but now I'm back at it again, and new year, not new me though, but that means new persona design again because I cannot stick with the same design for longer than like a year or two, and the fact that I didn't even redesign Alton last year is kind of a surprise for me, considering previously I would change it quite often, or like at least like do some tweaks to it, but like yeah, well, new year, I've had this idea brewing in my head for like the past 2 months, I'd say, but I didn't really have the motivation to work on it. But now I'm at it, as you can see in the background. Um, so the plan for this video is I'm gonna go through my old persona designs, considering I've been doing art for like what 12, 13 years now. So I feel like it would be fun to look back on old designs that I have, kind of cringe at the old designs that I had, then also go into, the current design and kind of break down what went into it, which is, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about because a lot of this is just, I kind of bullshitted my way through it, but, it'd be still fun to break it down and then maybe talk about what ideas I have for the backstory because I like traumatizing my silly little characters, I guess. Anyway, so it all started with cat girls. Obviously, it started with cat girls. I liked cats. I still like cats actually, but it's simple. It's basic. I was a little blonde, long-haired girl, who just started doing art as a full-time hobby, and I felt like I needed a character that represented me. So, obviously, I'm just gonna draw myself and add some cat ears on that and a tail. What else do you need? Which is like, it's boring, it's basic, but it's simple, it's classic. Then I deviated from that, and I decided to have purple to, I believe, both the ears and the tail. I'm not really looking at images as I'm talking about these characters. I am mostly going off of memory, and then I'm hoping that I can find the images for the characters I'm talking about as I'm editing, because a lot of the stuff that I used to draw is lost to time, basically. Would it be from either me switching devices or Sony Sketch shutting down, which I'm still high key salty about it many, many years later. I don't remember when it shut down exactly, but a lot of my childhood slash early teen art is lost to Sony Sketch shutting down, which I'm really sad about. Okay, this is gonna be an off-topic rant a bit, but I'm really sad that Sony Sketch shut down and we haven't gone like um an alternative app that's like Sony Sketch, to be honest. Because I really like, for those who remember, Sony Sketch had this really cool feature where if you drew something within the app, then you could make it, you know, people could collab on the drawing. So I believe it was like a toggle or something, and then people could, add to it. They could literally just draw within the same canvas and add their own character or whatever. This is also where people did so much of the, oh, like do a random OC, like those templates. I'll probably find some and put them on the screen. But, damn. Okay, to be honest, I didn't really like Sony Sketch as a drawing program. I'm like, I was an Ibis. Yeah, Ibis. I think that's how you pronounce it. All the way until I switched to now using Clip Studio. But yeah, no, as an art program itself, Sony was pretty bad. I really struggled with it, but also I was a kid. I wasn't good at drawing to begin with, so to be honest, it didn't really matter. But I just miss the how easy it was to interact with other artists. Plus, I believe I was decently popular. Okay, not popular, but I had a decent following on there as well. And I'm just really sad Sony Sketch shut down. Because low key, was it shit? Yes. But it was also just a fun program to use, in my opinion. But yeah, rant over. Let's go back on topic. Um, so yeah, I had like a cat hybrid Sona for like many years, but it just like kind of changed a bit over time. Like, and my one of my favorite designs ever. It's like so basic, but I really liked. So I changed the tail to be longer and have a mouth, teeth. Basically, it was alive. It has its own consciousness. Uh, I don't remember if I made it so my persona could control the tail, or if the tail was, just a fully basically its own living thing, just attached to her. But yeah, I really like that. I did end up using the concept of that tail and putting it on my persona, who I might also redesign. To be honest, not sure yet, but I did bring that tail back. It kind of feels, nostalgic in a way. Also, I'm constantly debating whether or not to use names when I talk about my personas, because back in the day I would use my actual name, which is now my dead name. Well, dead name slash name assigned at birth that I don't really use except in real life because, closeted. But whatever. But because I'm technically, they're not that hard to find. You can at least find one of these rough sheets still online on DeviantArt. But I'd rather not. Just kind of But but I did switch to using Kathy, which was my username, for many years. So I named all my sonas Kathy, which, it's fine. Kind of boring. I don't give my sonas my actual name anymore. It's easier for me to just, separate the OC from the creator, I guess. Plus, I also just draw myself from time to time, which I used to do that a lot more a couple of years ago, but I don't do so much anymore because to be fair, I don't draw that much either. I was a fucking drawing machine when I was younger. Kind of missed that. But yeah, at one point I switched to using random names, but I'll get to that. Um, After the cats, there's one Sona that kind of stood out amongst it because I switched back to a cat, but like there was this one Sona that was just me, but instead of like one of the eyes, there was a rose. I believe it was a rose, even though I could not draw roses for shit. But I believe it was a rose that had like a thick, spiky vine coming down from it, which it came down my face and also wrapped around my neck. I'm giving a detailed description purely because I know for a fact that I do not have a single image of said character existing anymore, which kind of makes me sad. But I believe I may have like an art piece I did inspired by it a couple years ago. If I find it, I'll put that up instead. But other than that, I don't think I have a single file of her, which is kind of sad. But like I said, like I already rented Sony Sketch. Yeah. Yeah, I used the Flower Ride one for like a very short time, like maybe at most half a year. Then I switched back to having a cat. And from having the cat, I kind of went away from the living tail, and I went back to a regular cat tail, and I had this like purple-esque sci-fi kind of character. I know I have a very distinct vision of what they look like, and I know I have the file somewhere as well. But like basically, purple hair, kind of like sci-fi esque patterns on the ears and the tail, and like the most horrendous color palette you'll ever see, in my opinion. Um, I distinctly remember them having like these hideous blue boots for some reason, even though like the outfit itself is like a weird mesh of like shades of gray. God, it was so ugly, and the blue didn't even fit the purples, in my opinion. And yeah, that's also roughly when I started using the name Jax. So everyone knew me as Jax or Jackson, but all of my sonas were obviously Jax because of it. Um, Also around that time, I started playing Phasmophobia. I was so into Phasmophobia to the point that I made Phasmophobia characters. I had two of them, count them two. One was more that represented me, and the other was more like for fun. But they both, in a way, represented me, but one was more me. We used them. Well, I had friends I played Phasmo with who were also artists, and they also made Phasmophobia OCs. And with them, we made like little silly comics based on the stuff that went down in the games because, you know, I will be struck down, but like old Phasmophobia before the big overhaul was better than like whatever's going on with Phasmo right now. I haven't played Phasmo in like a year, I think, but I didn't really like it that much. Yes, the OG Phasmo back in 21 had its issues. It was very buggy, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I would pay money to be able to play old Phasmo again. Cause damn, oh that's something I really miss. I really miss old Phasmo. Cooking kind of off topic again, but there was two Phasmoses. One was Jax, obviously, which is more based on me, you know, with the clothing and, you know, the hair and everything. Basically just me, but like a ghost hunter, I guess. But the other one, the more important one, is NYX. Yes, I'm aware there's also a makeup brand called NYX, but honestly, I didn't fucking realize that until today. Because, like, I wanted to search up to make sure NYX didn't mean anything weird that I didn't know about. And it threw me the fucking makeup brand, and suddenly it clicked to me, and I was like, damn. I guess there's just a makeup brand named after NYX as well. But NYX was this goat hybrid character, my first ever goat OC, and low key, that character also ended up evolving. I think. Okay, I'm kind of messed up on the timeline. I don't remember if NYX first existed as a Phasmo character or a Minecraft character, but I believe NYX first was a Phasmo character that evolved into a Minecraft character, but I'll get into that in a bit. But basically, NYX was this goat hybrid character, and looking back on him, the ref sheet I had for him, high key cringe. I cannot read it to save my life, but I like him. Very simple. I like the outfit, to be honest. I would wear this dead ass, except the shoes. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking with the shoes. But you know, your typical spooky number 666 on the ear tag, and the patches on his jacket, the different pride flags, I believe represented a different person from said friend group that had, you know, the character who also had characters. So each patch was, you know, set character, but low key, I'm looking at it right now. I do not remember who the polyamory flag was. I know who the lesbian flags are, and I'm pretty sure I know who the pan flag is. Maybe. And I think the bi flag represented myself. Maybe. But I don't know who the polyamory flag is. Maybe no, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna think about it too hard. But yeah, Nyx, love Nyx. Nyx is also the inspiration for my Sona that I'm redesigning right now in the background, as you see. Um, another goat. But yeah, I went with a goat because oftentimes in media you'll see, goats be um represented in, demonic stuff, and not really, I wouldn't say religion, just, like, oh, rituals, sacrifice, stuff like that. So I decided to go, oh, since I'm being possessed by some sort of like ghost slash demon thing, let's make it a goat. I think I also took inspiration from, oh my god, what's the name called, what's the game, um I think it was Devour. If I'm wrong, I'll put a different game on the screen and I'll correct myself, but I believe it was Devour because you had to collect goats, I believe, to complete a ritual or some kind. I think. I haven't played it. I watched other people play it though. Low key, keep thinking about getting it just to give it a go, but like, I digress. From Nyx, I get what the fuck? From Nyx, I had my. Oh wait, no, I. Okay, I just realized I forgot a character. Orchid. I'm just. I have a couple of the images here. Looking at it now, Orchid has the Jax signature, while Nyx has Echo, which means Orchid is older. So apparently at one point I had Orchid as well. Um, this like ooh woo edgy fallen angel tied up in chains, wearing a mask, ass character. Um, honestly, looking at this character, I low key cringe. Um, hmm. I believe I used to own a top like that, so that's why. What the fuck is going on with the hands? The white. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I do fuck with the little of purple in the hair. I think that's fun. Um, yeah. Oh, I do like the cat mask as well. I might bring that back in a character. And I also really fuck with the hands that are turning translucent at the hands. Uh I think that's also a cool idea I could maybe incorporate somewhere. But yeah, from Orchid, we go to this fox character. This fox character was created purely because I had a really botched bleach job, and I was mostly ginger, partially blonde. I'll throw the image up so you can see like what I mean in the drawing. You see blonde, ginger. And my mom's good friend had compared me to a fox, and I was like, "Oh my god, it kind of does look like fox fur, I guess." So from that, I decided to just draw myself with fox ears and a tail, and boom, I was a fox for a short while. I didn't stick with the fox for very long though. I kind of grew bored of it, but whatever. Uh, and then I don't think I had any significant sonas after that, unless I'm forgetting someone. I probably am. And then jump to 2024. We have the first iteration of Alton, my previous Sona, who I'm still kind of keeping as a Sona. But I'll get into that with the next reference sheet. But Alton, loved Alton. Low key, still love him. I really fuck with the tattoo that I thought for him, which is the two semicircles forming that circle. I thought I was so creative with that. If you know what I said, did I just say semicircle? What? Semicolon? What? Semicolon. Two semicolons that formed a circle. There. Okay. If you know what a semicolon means, it's. I mean, if you know, you know. If not, I'll throw up the definition. But basically, I still love this character, to be honest. I still draw him sometimes, just, more of the version that I made of him the year after, or 2 years ago, I guess. Wait, no, so this means this is from 2023. I don't know if I said 2024 before. As you can tell, I do not make scripts. This is all improv, and it's kind of fucking with me, but, oh well, whatever. I guess editing me can suffer through it, but, yeah. I love the idea of one wing. I also really love how I drew the wing in this. I forever will love this wing that I drew in this specific reference sheet because I could never recreate it after that. I also have had a big thing for scythes. I always had them. 9 times out of 10, if I gave my Sona a weapon, it was a scythe. Why? I don't know. Death, I guess, because death carries a scythe. Also chains. This is where I discovered my love for chains and adding chains to everything. So yeah, the first design of Alton was this like fallen angel slash zombie character that, was kicked out of heaven and was forced to live on Earth. And on Earth, okay, this might be a little messy because I don't remember exactly, but I believe people's like, I guess, insecurities, hatred, all the negative stuff often manifested themselves as monsters, which kind of feels like some Jujutsu Kaisen plot, but like, sue me. I thought of this before I watched JJK. And Alton and others like Alton were sent to Earth to fight these creatures because they're dangerous. And if you and in fighting these, you also boost the morale of the people suffering with these. But yeah, lost one wing to something. Yeah, and then from that, the year after, I have this design of Alton, which I kept the tattoo. I just made it a thigh tattoo, but I don't remember why I made him such a fucking hoe. God, he looks like a horrible. Low key, I fuck with it heavy. I really fuck with it. The two old outfits, one of them is based on, the previous design that I just showed you, and the other is just for fun. And yeah, as you can tell, I'm now having a new design 2 years later after this one, so pretty sure I kept the backstory the same. And it died in the first place because of suicide, and kicked out of heaven, did the same thing. I don't think I ended up giving him a scythe design this time around. Sorry, because I couldn't be asked. And so I just focused on the design. Even though I give my personas set outfit designs, it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory to draw these specific outfits. You can draw them in whatever you want. I don't care if it's fucking minion pajamas or, I don't know, a maid dress. I don't care what you draw them in. It's all fine. It's all welcome for me. As long as it's not, I don't know, fucking weird in the sense of, saying like random slurs or something that I don't fuck with. Don't do that. But other than that, anything is fine. And then my now current persona, which I'm so excited about, just looking at him makes me really happy, is Nyx again, but revamped. Nyx 2026. So Nyx is once again a goat demon like hybrid, but I brought out more of the demon aspect of Nyx. So Nyx has in total of 7 eyes, 6 on his face, 3 on each side, and then one big one on his chest. I also thought about giving him 2 more eyes on the palms of his hand, but I ended up deciding against it. Why? I don't know, to be honest. I might occasionally draw him with, the palm eyes, but I don't know. I was just lazy. I was just lazy. That's literally like the only explanation. I gave him wings because I love when my persona has wings. I have a thing for wings, but I wanted to keep make a little reference to Alton, and I still ended up removing one of the wings. So instead of having 4 wings, Nyx has 3. I did switch which side lacks the wing though, and I think I'm probably gonna. It wasn't intentional. I didn't really think about it, but think I'm just gonna keep it at that. Um, Obviously, the eye chains again, always with the chains around the neck that goes down to the shoulders, and also on his jeans. The chains on his jeans is based off of my actual pair of jeans. I roughly have the chains the same way, except the ones that is wrapped around his leg. I don't have that, but I'm planning to do that because chains. Um, Bracelets. On one hand, he has the trans flag, the bi flag, and then just rainbow. Gay, obviously. Obviously, he's gay. He's gay. He's trans, very much like me. Also has a tattoo that's kind of based off of my actual tattoo. I kind of made it a moon covered in these like squiggly lines that kind of wrap around it, while in my actual tattoo is a butterfly. The top is just your regular turtleneck-ish, has a mesh at the top, boob window, has like these hip windows, I think. I think that's what they're called. Regular belt. I thought about adding a design to the buckle, but I think I forgot about it, so it never happened. The jeans, very throwing shit at a wall and hoping it sticks. I thought about adding my patches at first because I do have a work in progress patch jeans that I wear all the time, but I just thought I'll just do like a detailed pair of jeans just with like random squiggles on it for now. The boots, based on my own heeled boots, just with chains again. A common like pattern here. The other hand has also 2 bracelets, one which is like again like a kind of flag colors, and the other one is just yellow and blue. Why yellow and blue? I don't know. I didn't really think about it. I just liked how they looked, to be honest. Um, a lot of piercings. I gave a lot of the piercings are based on piercings I want to get, which is the bridge piercing. I gave him dimple piercings. I think that's what they're called, dimple piercings. Then snake bites, I believe. I mix up snake bites and angel bites all the time, so but I believe these are snake bites. And then I also gave him a tongue piercing. He also has ear piercings, obviously for like the 666 tag, and also just 2 studs on each ear. He has 2 horns in his regular form, you know, your typical goat horns. Uh, he also has a goat form, which is like, I think my most favorite thing I've drawn in a while because he is so cute. He is so marketable plushie coated, and I'm really tempted to somehow make this an actual plush, like just DIY that shit. I'm not gonna like, I do not have the money to have like a professional company make him into a plush, so I'm thinking of doing it myself with like either hopefully finding a similar looking goat plush and adding the like the wings and shit, or learn how to sew, I guess, because low key I want him as a plush. And then the other form, which is the demonic form. I don't know, I don't have a name for it, so I call it demonic form. He grows an extra pair of horns, which curve around his head. The tag glows. Uh, I'm not sure where I got the idea to just turn his face fully, like black, including his arms, which you can see here. Like they, actually, I don't know how far into the speed paint we are, but like the face is black, and then the arms also like fade into black to his hands, and like his claws became bigger. I wasn't asked to draw that. I was lazy. Okay, leave me alone. But yeah, and then his eyes glow red. I think I just liked how spooky it looked, to be honest, so I decided to just go for it. And also, the eye on his chest turns black with a red pupil. Blue hair because I usually rock blue hair. Currently, I'm like a green mixed with a very faded purple-ish color. It's kind of weird. Brow slit. Kind of want to give myself a brow slit. I keep thinking about it. I haven't done it because I'm a wuss. And I think that roughly breaks down his design aspect. I decided to go with a goat again this time around because those who know me in real life and know my last name knows that it also means goat in Estonian. So, I mean, if you can figure it out, it's fine, whatever. I don't really feel comfortable saying that right now, but like, yeah. My last name in Estonian also means goat. So, and people often make jokes like, "Oh, are you a goat?" And I'm like, "Heh." But I decided to just rock with it. Now I have a goat Sonam, and he's cool as fuck. And he might be like my favorite design I've made in a while. I feel like I say that every time I ever design a new character, like, "Oh yeah, they're like my new favorite now." Like, wow, dog. It's not like you say that every single fucking time. So, backstory. I don't really have a set backstory for Nyx, to be honest. The current idea I have for him is that he's dead. He was sacrificed when he was still alive because of something. Like his like village or wherever he lived needed some sort of favor and decided to use him and a goat to sacrifice, give us a sacrifice as payment for something. I'm not sure yet what. My other idea is that he's a witch. He was a witch, or like he was considered a witch, and burned at the stake, and didn't really technically came back, but came back as this demon goat hybrid. But if you have any ideas for a backstory, feel free to drop them below, because low-key, I love when other creative people give me their ideas, because I like how creative people are. When drawing Nyx, I didn't really have issues, to be honest, because I had such a clear vision of what I wanted out of him. But what I did struggle with a lot was the outfit, to be honest. When I was imagining him in my head, I never had a set outfit for him. It kind of switched between like this really oddly femme outfit and like my like regular clothes. But I think the hyper femme outfits come from probably me being a closeted trans dude and trying to hide the fact that I'm a dude from certain people in my life. And so I'm kind of still stuck in that headspace that I need to be femme, even though it makes me borderline crash out. But yeah. So I decided to just go kinda slutty, but not as slutty as Alton from 2 years ago, because damn, bro had his tits out and everything. He also probably has a weapon, like a scythe, like all my previous personas have had. I might end up drawing that up at one point, because I haven't drawn a weapon in like forever. I did give Monarch daggers, I believe. I think they were daggers. I don't remember anymore. And that's the last time I think I designed a weapon for my character, which boring. I should start doing that again. And I'm thinking of also making it kind of inspired by the scythe Alton used to have with the semicolon. I might not make it that pink though. I might stick with red. Like I have. This is I think the most red I've had into a character in a while, because normally I've made my personas very blue. Like really fucking blue. Blue is like my favorite color, so I'm not surprised. I almost made his hair actually red. Which, to be honest, I think the red suited him more. Yes, I do usually rock with blue hair, but I also rock with red hair quite often. But I didn't like the lack of blue, so I just ended up making it blue. Even though the outfit is technically dark blue. This is not black, this is blue, but Old habits die hard, I guess. Okay, I feel like I'm kind of rambling senselessly now because I kind of got a lot of my points across, what I wanted to talk about. And honestly, I think that's about it. I keep thinking if I have anything else I want to mention, but low key, if I had more of his backstory thought out, I'd probably have more to talk about. But honestly, like I said, I'm kind of struggling with it right now, so that's why I'm also opening the invitation to give me your ideas. Cause if I do get an idea I like, I might do like a part two to this where I do like a really in-depth lore breakdown where I might actually have to write something, write a script for once instead of just bullshitting my way through it. Look, I just hate writing scripts, okay? I tried to write a script. I even tried to just write bullet points. Like, if I open my notes app right now, which I am doing right now, I go to the note where I was supposed to put my bullet points in, and all it has is intro. That's all I wrote down. And it's pathetic. It's so pathetic, but I hate writing scripts. I had to do that shit enough at school because of my course. But yeah, it's pathetic, but it's whatever. But yeah, I think I already said that's about it, so I'm gonna say it again. Um, thank you for sticking around. I'm really sorry for how messy this probably is again, much like last year. Yeah, last year, last time, whatever. I just, I don't like I like going with the flow, even though the flow does not exist. The flow is chunky and it does like 30 loops around the house and doesn't know what it's doing with its life. But look, I have fun. Okay, I got my ideas out. I got to break down my thought process, but also go back to look at these characters and my art that has brought me to the point of where I am today. So yeah, uh, thank you for sticking around. Hopefully I will try to do more of these speed paints. I'm gonna try to animate more as well because I do really want to upload more here, but I'm just really bad at it, to be honest. I do draw, I just never recorded really, but I do really want to make like um like a PNG tuber esque kind of thing that like is in the corner of my videos whenever I do like a more talk heavy yap session like this. So it might just add a bit more visual interest, I guess. But that's more of a future project, I guess. But that's all. Thank you for sticking around. Uh, I hope I hope it wasn't too bad, and I'll see you whenever I upload again. See ya.